Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. Playing in the National Hockey League is a privilege that only a select number of hockey players get to experience during their careers. Whether it's being selected by a franchise in the NHL Entry Draft or by signing with a team as a free agent, the several hundred players that take to the ice in the league each year all want to make an impact for the team that gave them their chance to make a name for themselves in the hockey history books. Suiting up for just one NHL franchise is a dream come true for most players. But no player's name has been seen on more NHL teams than this one. This is the story of Mike Sillinger, the player who took to the ice for 12 different NHL teams. In order to properly explore this player's unprecedented journey in the league, let's start at the very beginning. Allow me to take you back to June 17th, 1989, during the league's entry draft of that year, where the Detroit Red Wings, who held the 11th overall selection in the draft, picked Canadian centre Mike Sillinger from the Regina Pats of the WHL. Sillinger would remain with Regina for the next 2 seasons and put up 245 points in 127 regular season games and 37 points in 19 playoff games before leaving the juniors behind. As his professional hockey career began, Sillinger would play a handful of games in the bigs, but would spend the majority of the next 2 seasons in the AHL before joining the Detroit Red Wings roster full-time during the 92-93 season. Though he would play in 129 regular season games, split over 5 seasons with Detroit, and score 59 points for his efforts, the former first-round pick would leave the franchise that drafted him on April 4th, 1995, as he was traded for the first time to the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim, along with Jason York, in exchange for Stu Grimson, Mark Ferber, and a 1996 6th-round pick. Being traded would become almost second nature for Sillinger, as throughout the course of his NHL career, he would be traded a grand total of 9 times, which is tied for the NHL record with Brent Ashton. But his career is a story for another video. But anyway, after moving to Anaheim, Sillinger would play his next 77 games with the Mighty Ducks and score 41 points, before he was traded again on March 15th, 1996, less than a year after he was first traded, to the Vancouver Canucks for Roman Oxiuta. The Canadian centre would then play his next 138 regular season games, split over 3 seasons with Vancouver, and scored 60 points during his stint in Western Canada, before being traded yet again on February 5th, 1998, to the Philadelphia Flyers for a 1998 5th-round pick, marking the 3rd time Sillinger had been traded in just 3 years. Though Sillinger impressed Flyers fans early by scoring 22 points in the last 27 games of the 97-98 season, the former first-round pick only managed 3 assists in the first 25 games of the following 98-99 season as a Flyer. This prompted Philly to trade Sillinger, along with Chris Gratton, to the Tampa Bay Lightning on December 12, 1998, for Michael Renberg and Damon Lankow. Sillinger spent the next 121 games of his career with the Lightning and scored 54 points before moving teams yet again on March 14, 2000 at the NHL trade deadline, as he was shipped to the Florida Panthers in exchange for Ryan Johnson and Dwayne Hay. Well, at least he didn't have to move out of state this time. Having played just 68 regular season games with Florida, Sillinger was traded at the deadline again only a year later to the Ottawa Senators for a draft pick, making this the 6th time he had been traded in the last 7 years. I hope he had a loyalty card with American Airlines or something. Talk about racking up those air miles. As the 2000/01 NHL season came to a close, and having scored 7 points in 13 games with the Senators to finish off the season, Sillinger would once again be packing up his belongings and moving teams. However, for the first time in his career, it wasn't due to being traded. Sillinger became an unsigned, unrestricted free agent for the first time in his career, and used his newfound ability to choose where he wanted to play in order to sign with the Columbus Blue Jackets. However, Sillinger's reputation of bouncing around different teams in the league wasn't done just yet. The next 2 seasons saw Sillinger score 86 points in 155 games as a member of the Blue Jackets organisation. However, during the 2003 off-season, Sillinger would be sent packing once more, as he wasn't just traded once, but twice, and both on the same day. First, he was traded to the Dallas Stars, along with a second-round pick for Darryl Seydour, and then he was sent to the Phoenix Coyotes in exchange for Teppo Numminen. At this point in his career, Sillinger had been traded a whopping 7 times in his 13 seasons in the league, and had managed to play for at least one team in every division in the league. And his travelling around the league was still far from over. Sillinger played just 60 games with the Phoenix Coyotes during the 03-04 season and scored 14 points for the team before being traded yet again late in the season, this time to the St. Louis Blues in exchange for Brent Johnson. After suiting up for 64 games over 2 seasons in St. Louis and scoring 51 points for his efforts, on January 30th, 2006, Sillinger was traded for the 9th and final time in his career to the Nashville Predators in exchange for Timofey Shishkinov. In doing so, Sillinger joined his 11th NHL team and broke the league record of most teams played for by a single player, which was previously held by Michael Petit and JJ Dagenot. Sillinger finished off the 05-06 season by scoring 22 points in 31 regular season games with Nashville before his contract expired and he became an unrestricted free agent once more for just the second time in his career, which had spanned 14 years up until this point. Though his contract was up, Sillinger, who was 35 years old at the time, knew he wanted to carry on playing in the league regardless of whether he had to move again or not, and wasted no time finding a new NHL team, as on July 2nd, 2006, he signed a multi-year contract with the New York Islanders, the 12th and final NHL team he would play for in his career. Sillinger would play the final 151 NHL games and score the last 87 points of his NHL career with the Islanders over 3 seasons, before announcing his retirement on August 26, 2009 due to lingering complications with his hips. And thus ended the career of Mike Sillinger. Though he never found a more permanent home in the league, during his 17 seasons in the National Hockey League, Mike Sillinger suited up in 1,049 regular season games with 12 different franchises and scored 548 points for his efforts, as well as adding 18 points in 43 NHL playoff games to his resume too. Also, of the 12 teams Sillinger played for in his NHL career, he only played a full season with 4 of them. 4! That's only a third of the teams he played for in his entire NHL career. If you looked up journeyman in the dictionary, I wouldn't be surprised if you saw Mike Sillinger's face sitting there with a career like that. Having played for 12 different teams and being traded 9 times in his career, it's obvious that Sillinger never found much consistency in where he was playing from one year to the next. However, he certainly did the best with what the league gave him, and continued to be a point-every-other-game player wherever he played for the entirety of his run in the best league in the world. Pretty good for an 11th overall pick, right guys? And that was the story of the NHL player who suited up for 12 different teams. What do you think about Mike Sillinger's story? Also, is there another story from the NHL or another hockey league around the world you would like me to make a video on? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear what you guys think. But thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you have enjoyed. Please feel free to like, subscribe, share, or watch some of my other videos. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye. A big thank you to Andy, Chris Gadsby, Kalesbro, Matt DeWild, Max Artis, and Nat Marlowe, as well as a huge thank you to Ryan Todd for helping support this video via Patreon. If you too want to help support the channel a little bit further and get a shout out at the end of every future video, make sure you head over to patreon.com/oddmanrush and become a patron today.